Hey everyone. Hey Two Tone. Hey Tootsie Roll. How you doing? It's kind of a gloomy day around here. We're about to get another snowstorm. Uh, as well as I can. So Kokai here for a second. Thanks, Two Tone. So, one of the things we're going to be doing here coming up in May is a watch party of this mini series called Exterminate All the Brutes. There is a registration in the link in our bio, and it's 4 Thursdays in May at 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. What are you doing, Joseph? If I am performative and you are commenting, what does that make you? Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be doing this watch party for this in May. So if you'd like to join us, we'll have an hour to watch the episode and then whatever time's left for a discussion afterwards. There'll be study guides and yeah, we'll just watch it together. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be good, I think. Hopefully. I hear that it is really eye-opening. I should probably... be right back. There's been so much mess on the news about what's happening in the world. And I'm struggling to keep up with all of it. I don't know how anybody is keeping up with all this stuff that's going on. Hey, Al. Can you come up? Hey, Tom. How's it going? Oh my God. I hope that you're okay. Got you. There's Serge. Oh, Serge will come up if he can. There's Serge. Oh, Serge will come up if he can.
Yep.
Hello, fam. How's it going?
Oh, it's a going. Got to fiddle with my camera and my audio here before it'll work on this dumb phone. I'll be right with you.
Okay. Good thing I'm not looking for suggestions. I am doing okay. I'm really tired. It's been a really stressful week. But I can kind of take a minute and breathe for a minute. Doing all that LLC stuff, man, really just uh, doesn't make me feel good. It is what it is. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing.
Yeah,
A week.
I feel that. You've been working a lot.
Yeah, I'm working with this new job. We're trying to get me down to like 3 to 4 days so we can dedicate more time to Eager and start putting some financial stuff back into everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful for you too. I just I need to sleep more.
I wish, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
That is actually the one thing that I really like though about spring and going into summer is my not necessarily my evening clock, but my morning clock is very much in tune with the sunrise. And
Yeah.
during the winter, I don't get up in the morning as easily and as clearly as I want to. And
Yeah. Well, we're like, it may be the spring may have sprung, but we haven't figured it out yet.
right.
So we'll have like these sporadic warm days, and then it'll be really cold, and then it'll be snow again. And that's where we're at today.
Yeah, it got up to 75 here yesterday. Actually, I think the high was 77 technically. And now the high today is 55 in one day. I'm like, I know that's not terribly cold, but still. It's freaking annoying.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. I'm ready for it to be warmer out.
I do better in hot than I do in cold, like really cold. So I'm a little bit biased towards the summer.
Well, I am no fan of the cold. I just was born here.
I'm not saying that I like it super hot and that I won't complain that it's super hot.
Tell me we won't complain about
less.
anything. Yeah. So what are you working on today, Rob?
Yeah. First of all, getting me a mic on so that if I step outside, I don't blow y'all away.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna finish digging my trench for my vermin barrier.
Oh, okay. Very
I
good.
have moles, voles, uh, gophers, groundhogs. Uh, Gosh, there's more. I can't even name them all. Lots of burrowing critters that like to get into gardens by burrowing underneath stuff. And so, to protect my greenhouse and my garden, I am building a barrier trench around it.
Got you. And that keeps them from digging under it. And
Yeah, so basically, I got the startings of it. It's just about a 6-inch wide trench. I'll have to dig it out again because the wind filled it up with dirt, with dust. But dig it about a foot to foot and a half deep, depending on the ground where you're at. You know how deep the critters tend to burrow there. Usually about a foot will work. And I'm just going to fill it in with chat and pea gravel, and that will keep them from burrowing through there into my garden beds.
huh, interesting.
So you can pour cement most of the time when landscapers do it, they just fill it full of cement, but that's kind of a waste of material and not very eco-friendly overall.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't more eco-friendly ways to make cement, and you don't have to do the big pollution thing, but if I ever want to dig it up and redo it, it's a lot easier to dig out some rocks and gravel than it is to break up cement. So it works.
Very good.
And then I've got to build me a shed for my tractor. So out here on this other side of the house, I'm getting ready to drop some 6x6s, dig some holes, build some footers, drop some 6x6s down and build me a 10-foot by 32-foot shed so I can put the tractor under it and not let the sun eat it up.
Nice.
So
I'm
that's gonna
glad
be cool.
that you have the ability to do that.
Me too, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't. You know what I mean?
I've referred my friend Pepper to you.
Cool.
They are excited to expand their garden into other people's yards.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely make a way for that to happen.
Yeah. They have a good, they have a nice backyard. It's basically allowed to grow how it wants, and then they've got fruit trees and a little garden patch.
See, that's kind of my goal out here eventually is now I'm going to, encourage the plants that I want to grow out here, but then, that's why I'm being kind of selectful of which plants I put out here. I want them to be able to just kind of flourish on their own, do their thing. And, mom knows best. Except for, if that is what I think it is, nope, it's not. Okay, we're good so far. I got horse nettle that comes up over here in this corner naturally, and that stuff is heinous.
I've never heard of that.
Not that it's not useful for some things. It has its uses, but I think there's another name for it. It's not stinging nettle, because that's a different nettle, but it is related to stinging nettle. And in short,
Stinging nettle is a good allergy reliever.
Yep. This one has some similar properties that it can be used for, but it's a bit more of a more thorny of a plant than stinging nettle is, and it'll tear you up if you end up walking through some of them with shorts on and stuff. And it stings. it leaves something in the wounds where it burns, and it's just invasive. It will just take over a yard in no time. So I gotta control it. I don't want to completely kill it out, but I gotta control it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That makes sense.
so yeah, lots and lots of fun for this spring and this summer. My
We
gardeners
had,
are going to be on spring break next week, so we're planning on getting lots of work done towards the business.
oh, that's good.
It's going to be a good spring.
Yeah. How many yards are
I'm
you
going to
up
be
to now?
expanding my chicken coop, getting more chickens. That's going to be fun.
How many yards are you up to now?
So if anybody out there in the audience, I know we only got a couple people looking in, but there might
Can
be
you not
people
hear
viewing
me?
outside. If y'all got tips on chickens and raising chickens, I'm always interested in learning new stuff.
Can you guys not hear me or something?
Oh, I can now. I couldn't until you just said that. Sorry, sorry if I was sitting here talking over you. I didn't know.
I
I was just
figured.
filling the space until somebody else decided to talk, right?
I figured you couldn't hear me because you were not responding at all. Um, I was asking you how many yards you have now.
I've only got one, and it's my daughter's, but I am still working on a plan to have at least 4 more. And plus, we'll have the prototype garden here, which would be mine, a bigger greenhouse. So, regardless, we're still going to put off a lot of produce, even if we only end up doing 2 to 3 little greenhouses. We're going to put out quite a bit of produce. That's actually the part of the business that I'm being a little bit leery about, a little bit concerned. If I do end up having 5 greenhouses by the end of this, the spring, soon enough to get plants in them and get a harvest off, I don't know if I can move that much produce, but we're going to try.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I mean, we'll just give it away. We'll just go door to door and give it away if we have to. I mean, I ain't going to sit there and let it rot in a bin.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, tomorrow I think we're going to be on live and have like a topic.
Cool.
I'm not sure quite yet. I'll have to talk with Girl Star to find out for sure. I'm not really good at picking out topics to talk about, to be honest. I want to talk about everything.
Right. Well, there are definitely a lot of hot topics we can choose from. And I haven't been keeping up with the news much lately, but apparently the Department of Education is officially shut down. I mean, in the process of shutting down. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people having some feels on social media about that.
Well, I just saw a video of a veteran having a breakdown because they had ended his medical treatment and he has no access to his psychiatric medication.
I saw that. That was terrible.
It was heartbreaking.
It was hard to watch. It's going to get worse.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I just wondering how much longer it's going to take for us to actually do something about it as a community.
Yeah. I feel like it's a sort of avalanche situation, and that we're not snowballing. We're things are chipping off to the edge to where eventually the edge is just going to give. That's what I see coming, and it's not going to be pretty.
It's not pretty now for a lot of people.
That's true. That's true.
What you got to
I-
say, Chris?
Go ahead, Bubba.
I'm just following up with the ambulance idea. Like, we've been in the avalanche already. Like, it's been just continuous.
Yeah.
We keep pushing it off, and it's kind of, in some ways, it's just like disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
just-
just really disappointing that there's not more people who would want to center Black, Brown, Indigenous, and other people of colors issues that we've created, you know, for them. Trying to all these movements. It's just frustrating because you get a bunch of people out in the streets for this. I don't know, just that they want Trump out of office. But like, what is that going to solve the problem? I mean, yeah, Trump's gone and his stuff is gone, but like, we still had issues before he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trump is just a symptom of those issues. It's not the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's not
And
to say
getting him
that,
out of the office might solve something, but it's not going to solve all these problems.
Gonna
yeah,
solve
and
our
that's
problem.
not to say we shouldn't try, that he shouldn't be removed from office and we shouldn't
For
do what's
sure.
right. But it's just, yeah, you're 100% right. It's not going to really move the needle, so to speak.
No, it's not. And
I'm sure you've seen where the latest is an executive order. I get them confused when they're doing their bullshit. I think it was an executive order, basically made it to where segregation in from federal contractors is no longer explicitly banned by the.
yeah,
Now, of course, there's still, I think it's the Civil Rights Act that is a redundant kind of protection for that. But I mean, the reason for having it in the wording of the federal funding, the federal contract, I can't remember what it's called, damn it. My brain never remembers the terms when I'm trying to talk about them. It wasn't to ban segregation from federal contractors, private federal contractors. That was done through the Civil Rights Act. It was in there as a statement from as a national, statement that, okay, as a nation, we are not okay with this. From every branch of government, it was supposed to be redundant on purpose for the meaning of it. Yes, the legislative office is against body. The legislative body, the people's voice, is against segregation. Okay, guess what? Now the executive branch is also against segregation. We're unified on this. I don't know if there's a judicial equivalent that they did redundant. I'm not that deeply versed in it, but to my understanding, that was the point. And now, basically what he said is, well, the people have said they don't like this idea of segregation, but, the executive branch, we're just okay with it.
right.
No.
Fucking old white dudes.
I mean, we keep hiring them.
Yep. We had a chance to hire somebody different. But there's a whole song about that storming across the interwebs.
There's a couple of them, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. Oh, yeah. It's been interesting. They overturned the gender affirming care bill here in Ohio. So they had banned it. and now they overturned it. So it'll keep going up the courts until, final decision is made, I guess. But it was at least one win. Just interesting to watch all of these bleach blonde women talk about how they don't like gender affirming care. What? You have makeup on and you cut your hair and it's blonde. And like, none of them want to talk about how when I was young, there were girls getting breast implants and nose jobs and all this stuff, and no one batted an eye about it. And I think this stuff still happens in some cases. Like,
This is like what Taz brought up yesterday, is like we don't have an idea of our culture until it butts up against something else, right? So like
yeah,
the affirming care for white straight people doesn't exist until there's a difference that can separate it.
yeah, it's true. You see that so often
No.
in a lot of different ways. Like, once they lifted that ban and they ended all the DEI stuff, now all of a sudden Harvard's 100% free.
Right? Do we just mass sign up for that? Like,
But if they can segregate, if they can exclude folks, and, I don't know, it just seemed odd that it happened in the same time frame.
oh, that's design. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything is like planned out. It's like I've told you guys before. It's like they're playing like 3D chess and we're still playing tic-tac-toe with sticks and rocks.
you know,
Like, what are we doing? What are we even doing?
oh yeah. It's like our comprehension for the system is just this big. Our scope of it is, but that also goes back into our conditioning as well. Is like we don't try to dive deeper into things. We just take things at face value and then act according to that face value.
It's facts. It's facts. What was the other thing that I saw today? Oh, the senator that had what was the law that he was trying to get passed? Oh, the Trump derangement syndrome. And then the next day he got picked up for trying to meet a 17-year-old that happened to be a cop.
Oh my god. Yeah, I see like a couple little articles about that, but I haven't dived into that one yet. I'm gonna have to. Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. You know what? I haven't been reading these comments. I'm paying attention to you too.
I think we're gonna stay
what's
open
up
for
here?
a half hour. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Well, I just realized he had asked to come up here. I wasn't even looking at the comments.
Yeah, okay.
Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh my God. I don't know. I feel like you guys feel. It feels like it's overwhelming. I feel beaten up and I'm just like, it's hard to give a fuck.
It is.
Yeah.
It's hard to give a fuck. It's so much easier to harm people, to destroy things, to dismantle things. And that is what a lot of this country chose last November. They chose to harm people they don't like. They chose to dismantle shit that they think they don't like and they really don't fucking understand. Right?
No.
And that's what they chose to do. And I mean, Personally, the destruction of the Department of Education for me, if I start talking, I'm gonna start bawling because I have two kids on the spectrum and they both require IEPs. I have therapists that my son gets therapy in school every fucking day from a speech and an occupational therapist, and my district. I mean, yeah, it's an affluent district, but it still can't cover the stuff. They keep holding fundraisers every time to cover stuff, and they get money from the federal government. And these assholes, god damn it, man, why do people hate so fucking much, man? Just because somebody like me, a black person, is able to get the same things your family's been getting for generations, all of a sudden you want to destroy it all. Because as far as you're concerned, because black people are getting it, something's wrong with democracy. I can't have people that I used to own, that my family used to own, operating like they're equal to me. Something's wrong with the system. This can't work. This can't happen. I'm concerned about democracy. This is not democracy for me. If the former slaves can look at the descendants of the masses in the face like if they're equal. That's not democracy. Something must be wrong. Rip it all out, destroy it all out. Go Elon Musk. Let's destroy everything. That's what the fuck people voted for. And it's unmistakable and it's extraordinarily painful.
Yeah. No doubt.
I mean, and people are over here like, and that's the thing, right? People who are normal, people who are empathetic, we're having a tough time wrapping our heads around how can people be this way? Like, it's alien to us for people to be this fucking hateful and nihilistic and destructive. We're like, wait, how can you be like this? Why are you? No, that's a child. Children need healthcare. Children need cancer treatment, cancer research. Old people need to need access to what they've been paid into for decades. Their Social Security. Like, how could you just take that away from people and you think that's all fine? I mean, you celebrate that. Like, that's a good thing for you. Like, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around people that fucking hateful. Like, I would, and that. Oh God. And the eager, I know I've tagged you in a few of my videos today,
It's okay.
and oh,
You can always send them to me.
yeah, I did tag you, so they should be in your messages probably.
Okay.
Um, I just can't believe that this is what I'm witnessing. I've read about, we've read about what happened after Reconstruction in 19th century, right? That there was a white backlash to black people being able to avail themselves of the same rights, laws, privileges that this country is supposed to offer. I feel like we're going through another, the 21st century, end of Reconstruction. I mean, and they're gaslighting the fuck out of us. Talking about
Yeah.
segregation. I mean, like, why the fuck would you do that? And why are you talking about pardoning Derek Chauvin? Why are you
To get you guys in the street so they can
Why?
implement martial law.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. It's bait. It is bait. But it doesn't mean that it's not infuriating. And trust me,
Chicken, babe. I'm out here.
we are
Adina has something to
notes.
add, they said.
Yes,
You have
I
something
do.
to add, Adina? Did I say your name correctly?
Aidna, yes.
Ada.
How you
Okay,
doing?
good. Okay, good. Thank you.
I agree with everything that Island Boyd saying, but I just want to add, like, ever since the quote-unquote ending of slavery, which Abraham Lincoln didn't really want to do,
No, he
and he
didn't.
was forced to, it is a trip to see how much we have been the poster children for everything bad, starting generations ago. Everything bad. And to know, and to realize that there are people out here who really want to have slaves. You tell us to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. We did that. What did you do? You flooded whole entire black towns. You you
Set
did
him on
so
fire.
much. You know
Bombed
what I'm saying?
him.
You do so much, and then have the unmitigated gall to look towards us and say, "Where's your voices, I mean, excuse my language. I'm sorry. I don't like. We've been lending our voices to you for generations, and all you
Yep.
did was give us your back and your behinds to kiss. And now that for the first time, you all are being treated the way that we've always been treated. And like I said, politicians are going to politic. They didn't fail us. We failed us, and we continue to fail us. We continue to really want to hold on to this false ideology of superiority, and now everybody lose. Your hatred goes that far down and that deep that you want everyone to lose. You want a race riot to start so you can slaughter black Americans. Because at the end of the day, that's what the vote for Trump was about. They didn't care about anything else. And I look at how past generations have voted and politicians that they took to. You didn't vote for common sense. You voted for whiteness.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the SHIT has hit the fan, now it's we have to work together. No, we don't. No, we
You know
don't.
what's crazy?
No, we
You know
don't.
what's really crazy? It's like they are now telling us we have to work together, as you say. And at the same time, they're erasing our history. They don't want us to tell our history. In some states, it's a felony to even talk about the fucking history. That's the thing that it's gaslighting. That's gaslighting on a epic scale.
And the
You
worst
know?
part about it
Facts.
is that you bringing your kids into this mess.
Yes.
Like you're not even giving them a chance to be decent human beings. You are creating a world for them. Everything that we see today, everything that we see right now is because, you know, these people didn't have a chance to make a decision. You know, the descendants of people who practice eugenics, they didn't have a choice. And now we have generations who won't have a choice.
Yep. They don't
Like,
care.
it's like, what is wrong with y'all? Because I'm going to be honest, when I look at horror films and I see that there have been horror films throughout the years where you see white tea folks being possessed, going through changes. Oh, honey, I that isn't that far fetched to me because your hearts are ugly, man. Like,
Yep.
how do you wake up and look at yourself and be like, I'm proud to be a hateful individual?
Yeah,
Everyone is out here making conscious decisions
to do that, to be
to
hateful. I think
to
here it
spite
is.
themselves.
Here
You
it is,
are
Aiden.
spiting yourselves. You are spiting the generations that come after you.
And here it is,
But
Aiden,
you,
right?
okay, just let me finish this and then, brother, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing all of these things to spite somebody
Mm-hmm.
because we want to own something. If you read that Bible, you would understand that you don't own a doggone thing.
Preach.
Everything on here belongs to God. And hot dog it when I tell you, there are some people who I believe, and I'm not going to name any names on here, but there are some folks that I believe have made peace with the fact that they're not going to see the renewed world. Because I do believe that God is going to make this over. And there are some people out here have that have so much bad in their heart that they made peace with that. But doggone it, your children didn't make peace with it. You're sitting up here making decisions for them. We are literally at the end stages of what we know today. We don't own anything. We don't own anybody. And if we really pay attention to what's going on in America. This is God showing us that we have been so busy trying to skate uphill that we forgot that we could. God is God today, tomorrow, and every day after that. And He's showing us who we are. We're so surprised. This is what we gave birth to. This is what we birthed. This is the America that everybody wanted. But now we're here. Cognitive dissonance don't mean a thing until it affects you. And now you want to cry out for help. No, man. The way that I feel about everything, all of this is God led, whether we want to realize it or not, because He pays attention to everything. Those that use His name and His word to disfranchise other people, oh, He got something for them. We we are so full of ourselves that we think that God is not watching. Keep on living, and you'll see we're getting exactly what we deserve on both ends because we made conscious decisions, and now we're here. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your input.
Yeah.
Your insight was very valuable, and
Thank you, my girl.
I think you're right. I think you're right that there are a lot of people that are A-okay with the way that things are going. I don't know how.
You know what's really funny? Like, I'm seeing a lot of these folks who voted for Trump. And what they're stopping short at saying, you can hear it behind that they caught themselves. They're stopping short from saying, we didn't think it would happen to us. They voted for Trump because they wanted this to happen to other people, to black people, to LGBTQIA, to the immigrants, you know?
Yep.
That kind of stuff.
Stick it to the libs.
Happened to us. And they're crying on here, getting all upset and raging and everything like that. You made me sell my house, and I just moved to Washington D.C. for a job, and because I'm only there a year, they fired me. I've lost everything, and they're crying. I didn't think this would happen to me. You see, and see, that's the problem, right? And I'm gonna say something here. The black community has always had a community mind. We've always been very communal. In the Caribbean, where I'm from, we're like that. Africa, it's like that. They're community minded, and African Americans here, they're community minded. It's always about the community. What they've taught a lot of white people here in this country is rugged individualism. You only need to care about what goes up to the end of your nose. You don't need to care about anybody else, just as long as it doesn't impact you, right? You don't care about the larger community as long as it impacts you. That could, like, for years they've used this Cold War language of socialism and communism to beat that sense of community out of the public. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's hegemony, that's a social studies term. Hegemony. That's something that's as part of our zeitgeist as a people in this country. Rugged individualism. You too can make it. You too can work pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, like they love to tell us. Don't they love to tell us that, Ada?
Oh yeah, all the time, and that is what we always do. And
But guess what?
somehow the
What they
goalposts
tell us? When we pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps,
they cut them off.
They come barnstorming into our neighborhoods and our towns, right? And they burn everything, break everything, they murk and unalive and lynch and everything. And they look at us and say, like, how did that Negro get a piano? I don't have a piano. Why should that Negro have a piano? And I saw somebody do this in the run up to this election. Somebody did a documentary, and a content creator here showed a clip of it, and that clip chilled me to the bone. So around the time when Trump was talking about immigrants that eat the cats and dogs and all that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
They were looking at a Haitian businessman in a town in someplace in Ohio, And these white MAGA supporters were talking about, like, I've been in this town all these years and I can't afford a Lexus. How the hell he afford a Lexus? And he's an immigrant. An immigrant. An immigrant has a Lexus. An immigrant. They don't care. They don't care about the fact that this immigrant worked his behind off, had the gumshoe enough to start a business, to, work hard or whatever, save his money, start a business. But they're looking at the fact that he's an immigrant. And basically, the Soto Voce thing is he's an N-word. How did that N-word get something that me, a white man, doesn't have?
And the funny part about it, I'm going to say this. We got rights for everybody that we fought for rights that didn't even benefit us, that barely
Yep.
benefited us, but
Yep.
benefited everyone else.
Yep.
And now they're like,
Stab this in the
and
back.
we were still the poster children for welfare. We were still the poster children. And now the farmers around here, that is, that they are going through it. Majority of them are white who got those grants and things like that.
Did you see them on the internet crying because they were going to
Yeah.
lose
They're
their
crying,
farm?
yeah.
Yes. And the
It
thing
is sad
is
because
that
it will impact everyone for them,
black farmers,
losing their farm.
wait, black
But peep this.
farmers
Oh,
didn't
wait.
even get majority of those grants. Black
Yep.
farmers were
You're right.
rejected. And the thing is
facts.
that you don't understand. Like I said, you so used to having things your way. And now I have a child. And you know what she asked me this morning? She went from talking about how she can't wait, to go through high school and go to college to, Mommy, are we going to be safe here? This is what she asked me before going to school. Mommy, will we be safe? Do you know how angry that makes me?
Yeah. I
You know
know.
how angry I am
I know.
that now she can't even see a proper future for herself. I've raised her to be, a decent human being, which is honestly lacking among our youth, whether you're black, white, purple, or brown, because they're always on social media doing stuff because parents have to work, which for me, as a woman, as a single mom, I worked. And guess what? I still make time for my child. I still make time to check in to see what she's doing. Because I'd be doggone. I'd be doggone if she get caught out here like a lot of these kids are. Oh no. I don't play none of that. I remember we moved from New York City. And when I tell you that I worked 10-hour days and I would take my lunch and go to parent teacher conference, go back to work. If I knew that I had late nights coming up, I would cook dinner for the next 4 days over the weekend.
Yep.
I made time.
That's what you have to do.
I made time. And it's just me. And now I'm looking at the fact that my daughter had to ask me, are we going to be safe here? On top of her saying, Mom, why do people hate us? Why do they hate me? I didn't do anything. Why do they want to kill me? I'm angry. Please understand. And I literally was up from 2:30 to 3:30 this morning crying to God because I said, my heart is black. My heart is black and I'm mad as hell. I had to talk to God to create in me a new heart. Because right now, hi, honey. My unforgiveness level is on high, baby. Have a good day, honey. Hey,
When
hey,
does the
sugar.
ice cream shop open again?
Next month, Sugarfoots.
When next month comes, can we go?
Yes, honey, we sure can.
I want to get vanilla with gummies and sprinkles and all and the sugar cones.
So, in other words, you just want a lot of sweets.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Also, I've got you a treat for today.
You did, thank
I brought
you.
you some treats.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm still here, but
You don't need
can
to apologize. That's beautiful.
No
That's
need to
beautiful.
apologize.
No
Oh,
need to apologize.
oh,
No need to
oh,
apologize.
Faith, thank you.
Let all that positivity out in the world, please.
No need to apologize.
Hey,
It's
come on,
beautiful.
baby.
Love.
That,
No need to
listen,
apologize.
listen. I'm a single mom, but I stand 10 strong on it. And what has been going on is complete nonsense. You mean to tell me, like even with her name, I make sure that I correct everybody who mispronounces her name. Because you can't tell me that you can pronounce a Russian musical composer, but you can't get my daughter's name right? Absolutely not.
That's right. I
Absolutely
tell you
not.
something, Edna. My whole family, we have a tradition in our family that started since my generation where we're born. Every child that's born from my generation up, we all gave ourselves, like in the Caribbean, we
I know.
all
Come
gave
on.
ourselves
Come on, Cherry.
African names, right? We all gave ourselves African names. My real name, which is not what I'm showing here, is an African name, a Nigerian Igbo name, right? And my sisters have the same name. My cousins have African names, different Yoruba, Igbo, Ghanaian, different names, and they actually mean
My daughter's
this.
name is Ife.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful name.
My name, wear it out.
You know?
But when I look at these things, I get mad because she wants to study art. My daughter is a beautiful artist. And now she doesn't even know. She's not even sure that she'll have a future because of people making conscious decisions.
Yeah.
If Gambam comes, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, and it's so much deeper than just the vote. It's the folks that are sitting in those seats carrying out all of this nonsense and not telling Trump and his folks, no, we're not doing that.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
but they're letting him do it because they have contempt. Again, as I said earlier, and I don't know if Aiden, if you heard me, how can we allow people that our ancestors used to own to look at us in the face like if they are equals? Something's wrong with democracy if that happens. And Aiden, I swear that's what it's about. It's just plain old simple hate and white supremacy. They hate us because of our color of our skin, because of who our ancestors were. You know what I'm saying? They just hate. It's just pure racism. It's nothing else but that. And somebody's gonna tell me, "Oh, it's about the price of eggs." BS. It's not about eggs.
Not
It's
about the
about
eggs.
It's not about the eggs. Not about the economy. Since the Tea Party precursor to this was never about the economy, never about constitution and none of that nonsense. It was always about white supremacy. It was always about, oh my God, one of them is one of those Negroes is in the White House. We can't have that. We're losing control. We need to put a check on these folks.
Yes.
What it's about. We need to put a check on these folks. They lost their minds when President Obama won. And then when he won re-election again, they said, no, we have to do something about this. We have to fix this. This is not right. And they're having too many babies here.
We
They
can't
look at
fix
us, they
what
say we
we
have too many
said.
babies here. That's why he's trying to take away birthright citizenship. And because, the thing about these folks, they feel like they have a right to be as white supremacists as they want to be. And they feel like they feel like they're entitled to power on the strength of their white supremacy. They do not want to have any sort of repercussions on them for their white supremacy. They
Right.
feel that they have a right to have power on the strength of their white supremacy. We don't want to be punished on it. And the mere fact that the collective people of color in this country have more babies per capita than white people do, they know that they're going to eventually lose socio-political power on the numbers alone in a couple of decades. You know what I'm saying? Because people of color collectively, on large margin, are not going to vote for a party, are not going to support an ideology that, frankly, is lethal to them. You know what I'm saying? We're just not going to. And our kids are going to grow up seeing our parents, and our kids are not going to vote for Republicans and not going to vote for any right wing party. So they see that they're trying to stave that off. They want power. They want to maintain power. And they're willing to do
Right.
whatever it is to do it. That guy talk about the revolution will be bloodless unless, I mean, the revolution will remain bloodless unless the left allows it to be. I'm destroying that quote from the Heritage Foundation guy. They
Right.
mean that shit. They're trying to gaslight us into going out into the streets with all the stuff they've been doing. And Edna, I'm sorry your daughter is going through that. My son, he's on the spectrum, but he understands some things. He does come and ask me questions, and I try to explain it to him. But when I try to, it breaks my heart inside to explain it to him. And I feel your anguish, Edna. As a parent, I feel it.
Like, this is upsetting. And like I said, we as black people can't do anything about this. The white tea folks, this is batter up.
This is
This is something that they have to change. They have to stand up. We have been everybody's backbone. And now it's time to sit this one out because we didn't do this. How do you look at somebody? How do you look at your fellow American? Know that they're being disenfranchised and turn your back. Come on now. And then in the same breath, say that you're a Christian. Where, honey?
They're not.
Yep.
Where, sweetie?
And you know something? All the progress that has been made, and this is the thing, but that's really happening right now. The collective majority of white people have always voted to harm us. In every single election since the 60s, they've collectively voted to harm black people especially, and people of color. Collectively, right? The progress that has been made in this country on that front has been made in spite of them, despite their sabotage, right? And here's the thing, when the progress is made, it actually benefits them too. They get the benefit of it, but yet they still vote to undercut the benefits and the privileges that they've earned off of our political action, off of our political engagement. You know what I'm saying? They still vote to undercut some things that they enjoy, that they benefit from, because they want to harm us. It is insane. It is really insane. This is the kind of nihilism I'm talking about. This hateful, racist nihilism is like, oh yeah, we don't like them having that. And like that book, Dying of Whiteness. Y'all know that book, Jonathan Metzl? Book recommendation, guys. Jonathan Metzl, Dying of Whiteness. Go read that book. It is eye-opening. There are recordings and stuff of people, transcripts of people who are now unalived, who said they are okay if they pass away if it means that the black people don't get certain things. That's in the book, quoting these people. This is what we're dealing with, Edna. This kind of nihilism. These people are willing to go if it means we don't get it too. I don't know what else to say.
Well, we've hit 3 o'clock, and so I usually only do an hour, but I appreciate all of you joining us. And I'm sorry that you're going through that with your child. It breaks my heart to hear that, and I'm so sorry that you have to live that experience.
And please understand, I don't hate anybody. Even if
No, I don't think that.
But you better
No.
understand that I am mad. I am
That's
mad.
valid. That is valid. But I appreciate you sharing your story with us. We'll be back here again tomorrow at 2.
Yes.
See you
Alrighty.
all.
Thank
See
you.
you all later. Have a great day.
Thank you, Edna.